Alright, what's going on, guys? Need more drums here, back in Cities Skylines 2, starting our new city that doesn't have a name yet. So if you do have a name suggestion, please put it in the comments below. I would be happy to consider it. Maybe I'll come up with something eventually, but at the moment I have literally nothing in mind, regarding what I want to name the city. So yeah, but what I want to do today is expand out the population a little bit, kind of just keep going on, with the regular progression. Mainly, we need some additional city services. Like right now we have a clinic and we have a cemetery and an elementary school, but we need police, we need fire. I'd like to maybe think about putting in a high school somewhere over here. So yeah, let's go ahead and start with one of those things. I don't know what it's going to be, but yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So as you can see, we have a lot of demand for residential still, some medium density and low density. And I mean, not to mention we have tons of demand for commercial and industrial. So I think before we put down any additional services, I actually just want to take a second and go ahead and, zone out some more of all of these areas to make sure that we have everything that, we need and we can boost the population a little bit. So let's just go ahead and do that real quick and see what happens. All right, guys, what's going on? This commentary is coming to you from my new apartment, so sorry if it's a little bit echoey or something. I'm still trying to get everything set up in here, get some rugs down and waiting for those to arrive. But yeah, right here, just zoning out some low density, trying to get these suburbs built out. And since this spot here was a main road, wanted to put some commercial there. And, as you can see, the terrain's getting a little bit hilly, but we'll come back to that later. These row houses turn out pretty nice, and so now I'm just filling out kind of some of the gaps. And you can see my little trick there with waiting until the very end to zone out the last tiles that are up against the roads, because if I hadn't done that, if I had done it earlier, then those houses may have been facing the wrong direction, and so I try to keep those all clean and facing the same way. So that's one little trick to do it. But yeah, I figured the city is going to expand out this way. Wanted to get the road kind of in place just so I kind of know where to go. And we'll have some different, shapes and stuff you'll see in a little bit. But for now, this is just very basic, kind of laying the groundwork, where I kind of boundaries of the city to be, and, giving myself some space to work here before I develop these suburbs anymore. So yeah, a little bit of trial and error. It's not always easy with these grids, and trying to just find the right size, maybe do something a little bit different. But yeah, it's all coming together quite nicely. Uh-oh. So, yep, it looks like we actually do need to get down a fire station right away. So I'm going to put the game on pause here for a second. Some may call it cheating. I call it resourcefulness. But yeah, let's go see if we can find a good spot to put this. The coverage area is quite impressive for only being like a small fire station. Now, I don't like to put these right on the main roads. So I'm thinking that something over here might not be a bad idea. That way we can, kind of have it, the trucks won't come right out on the main road, but they'll still be close enough to be able to be effective. So actually, let's go ahead and we'll put it right here. And I know I'm cutting off this access to the street, but that'll force us to use some kind of different grid. And let's see, press play and see if these guys get dispatched. Like we got a pretty lazy firehouse here. Fire going on, and these guys are just sitting around hanging out. All right then. Oh wait, here we go. Oh, it's coming from a different city. Oh, I see what happened. Yeah, it's because we didn't have the fire station down before this caught on fire, so it automatically called one from a different city. Good to know for the future, so we don't make that mistake again. Oh, we still got a ways to go. Oh no. Well, Guess we'll see what happens here. Can he make it? We're gonna find out. Oh, here he is pulling up on scene, and it looks like he did not make it in time. Oh man, that's tough. At least now we have the resources to prevent that in the future. Speaking of which, I might as well just put down a police station too, since you know, we had that happen and don't want to make that anything like that happen again. I'm thinking about putting the police station. Maybe we put it over here, and then we can have some sort of kind of residential development around here, and then maybe like a little recreation area along this coast. I always like using these, you know, these rivers for things like that. So go ahead and put down just a regular police station. It fits perfectly in this grid here, it looks like. So we can put that down right there. And then I know, ooh, this land is not really looking too great. I guess that's all right. We'll make it work. But anyway, let's go ahead and get back to the build and just focus on expanding out our city. This is super fitting. Rock musician mansion. I love that. If you guys are new to the channel, the name Needs More Drums comes from the fact that I am a drummer, particularly a rock drummer. So maybe this is my house. We'll find a cool place for it. I'm thinking maybe somewhere along the river over here, some beautiful waterfront property. But you know, I won't spoil myself too much. We'll see. We'll cross that bridge a little bit later. But yeah, I am a rock drummer. As I'm kind of building these time lapses and stuff, you know, when I was building these, I'm obviously not. If I talk over them, I add that later. So when I am actually doing a little bit of the building, I like to put on, you know, some of my favorite rock albums. Particularly, there is a new, kind of a newish band called Rival Sons. They just put out a new album. I think it's I lost count. Maybe might even be like their 7th, but they've been putting out tons of albums, and they have not disappointed yet. So if you are into rock music at all, I highly suggest checking out Rival Sons. They're a great band. My band, we love to play, you know, their songs and stuff when we play shows too, and they're just awesome. Would highly recommend that you check them out. But anyway, again, let's go ahead and get back to the build so we can keep growing this city. All right, so yeah, there's a little nifty trick that I like to do, making these cul-de-sacs, you know, just using the roundabout to kind of plop at the end of a street there and make a little cul-de-sac. And so, yeah, getting some commercial zoned out on the main road here. Like I said a little while ago, you know, this terrain is a little bit difficult because it is a little bit hilly, so we're gonna work with that and not put every single zone, you know, right up against each other. But yeah, for now, I kind of thought I'd mess with this bridge. I mean, to be honest, like, I'm not a huge fan of this. I might change this in the future. It's not my greatest work. I just kind of wanted another way for people to be able to access the industry rather than going all the way around. And now that I'm thinking about it, this probably isn't even the best place for industry. And that school that I put there, you know, you look right across the water and you see this massive industrial complex. You know, there are things that I got to come back to later in the city, you know, once I kind of learn the game, and I'm still learning the game. You know, I mean, I haven't really been doing this whole YouTube thing for too long, so there's still some tips and tricks that I learn, and you know, all the time. And sometimes I end up building things that I look back later and I'm like, why did I do that? You know, that doesn't make any sense. But you know, we'll go back and work on those areas and maybe change some things up. But yeah, just really expanding this other part of the city here. And as you can see, I'm actually starting to place down some medium density zoning, some, you know, smaller apartment buildings. And I know we have the row houses, but these are a little bit different. You know, these are more kind of the bigger tenement style buildings, so that, you know, hopefully those will lower some of the rent prices in those areas and attract more citizens. And I didn't really intend on that part being a higher density area, but I thought that, you know, the game is kind of forcing me into that in a way with its, you know, sustainability suitability of the low density zone. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, you know, just kind of going with the flow. And over here, just now kind of jumping back, I figured it was time for a high school. And I was surprised at just how big this high school building was, you know, in the old game. I call it the base game. No, this is the base game. in the old game, Cities Skylines 1, you know, the high school wasn't a very prominent building, and I always kind of liked to make it a little more prominent. But in this case, it's already quite large, and I actually end up making it even larger in a minute, as you'll see. But I always kind of like to have these sit off of the road, make sort of a little driveway or something, you know, kind of a different point of access. And, you know, just plopping down some trees. We don't have anything like prop line tool or nothing like that yet, so just doing it the old-fashioned way, just one by one. And it's a little bit tedious, but, you know, could be worse. Really can't complain. It doesn't really take that long. But yeah, I do love the scale of the buildings in this game. I think that's a selling point for me. Just, you know, the power plants, the schools, the parks, everything just looks really big. And yeah, like you'll see here, this track. I mean, this track is just absolutely massive, but it really cool. Oh my gosh, it looks really cool. You know, it makes the high school have a bigger presence in your city, and then it kind of breaks up the monotony of any kind of grid or something you might have. You know, then you got to find a space for this big building. I think that's super cool. But yeah, coming back over here to this other end of the city, this is almost like its own town, to be honest. You know, I might make this like its own district and stuff. I haven't really messed with the districts yet, so that's something that I gotta get working on too. But yeah, I'm noticing, you know, this is actually pretty high up, and making these roads is a little bit not challenging, but, you know, I want to make sure that they kind of fit with the terrain well and everything. And yeah, it's always difficult to work with terrain in Cities Skylines, so you kind of gotta, you know, use the terrain lines and kind of have the roads follow the natural landscape. It really helps to make it look more realistic and authentic. And you know, I'm trying my best to kind of do some of that in this city, since we are building into this hillside. All right, nice. We have reached the Grand Village milestone. The city is coming along nicely. Yes, it is. All right, let's see what we got going on here. So we have district creations. Oh, that's very cool. Having I don't think I've reached this milestone yet. Not even in my other off-camera save game. So let's see. I have production panel. So that's a new one. Policies, we can finally use those. That's cool. Natural disasters. Oof. I wonder if I should put on the chirper for this. But anyway, we'll we can see, maybe we can see if they're coming. I don't know. Low rent housing. I don't really want to use too much of this, to be honest. I know that sounds bad, but I just, yeah, lower tax income. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. But maybe closer to some areas that, you know, might not warrant higher rent, like closer to the industry or something like that. But we'll see. And then we have some, because that is high density actually. So we have quite a big demand for it, it looks like. But yeah, we got some office demand, and we can also get into some farming now, which is cool. So, and some transportation. Oh, that's fun. Okay, we have buses, taxis, parks and recreation now. Oh, we got a lot. Okay, cool. National Diet Building. Don't know where that is. Oh, we have some, it looks like some special landmarks. Cool. Yeah, let's take a look at our development tree actually. So we have, I think, 6 development points available to us. So we can get some roundabouts, parking places, we can do some parks. What about, I kind of would like to get some of these large parks and sports parks in the mix pretty soon. That would be pretty cool. So let's actually go ahead and unlock one of these, and then let's go for some large parks. Why not? And then we got 3 more. Ooh, trains. Trains are important. I'm gonna unlock trains. And then we'll go for, let's see. Did I get a small emergency shelter? Maybe. We'll see. For now, I kind of want to get the something like recycling center, maybe, or even some more of the roads, like some roundabouts. Why don't we get some roundabouts, and then let's get the emergency shelter. Why not? We might need that. So we'll see. And what's going on here? Crime scene. Oh no. Wonder what crime has been committed. Well, at least we have a police station finally to deal with that. So we'll let them handle it, and we'll get back to doing what we do best, which is just building the city. So we do have a demand for offices. So actually, let's go ahead and make a little bit of an office zone. Why not? And you know, that might not be too bad right here by the water. And then we can have this kind of be like a park area around the police station. Nice offices around here. So offices kind of, I don't know, do they generate a lot of noise pollution? Maybe. I don't know. Let's just give it a shot. Let's give it a shot right here. Why not? So we'll go ahead and make some nice road. Oh, whoops. Just kind of like right here in this corner. Perfect. We'll go ahead and zone some. Oh, that is bad. Why is that bad? Because it's not like a main road. Oh, wait. There we go. Okay. Now it's good, I guess. Strange. Anyway, let's go ahead and zone some of these right here. Oh, cool. Strength through diversity. I got a little Steam achievement that says something about having all of the different varieties of zoning in my city. So, yes. Very good. We'll see how that is. Might attract some noise pollution, so hopefully, you know, these people don't mind. But that there for now. Actually, right here, you know what? Why don't we put a little commercial building right here, and then we can separate these with some trees. Like I always say in Cities Skylines 1, you know, you can never underestimate the impact that trees have. And I hope in this game they actually serve kind of a similar purpose to what they used to serve in Cities Skylines 1, which was, you know, if you put down some trees, they actually they reduce noise pollution and you know, things like that. They had a positive effect on the attractiveness, you know, of certain areas and everything. And so I would like to see some of that happen here, but we'll see. Yeah, so I zoned some apartments here. As you can see, those are popping up. Let's see what else we got going on. We got this big high school. I like this high school a lot. That's really nice. So and we have a demand for pretty much everything. So let's just go ahead and keep on expanding a little bit this episode. Probably not gonna, you know, be in this episode for. Oh wait, didn't want to do that. One of the row houses. I always forget. But yeah, probably won't be in this episode for too much longer. But there's still that we can do. Go ahead and just keep working a little bit. See how many people we can get in the city. We already grew our population by 1,000. I think I'm gonna plop down some more industry here. We have a very high demand for that. Why not go ahead and just put some more of that down? You know what? I think it may be time for some specialized industry if we can. So it looks like we don't really have any fertile land available to us yet. We do have a bit of forestry, but I don't want to put forestry here. That is not at all what I want to do. What about mining? Same thing. Don't really want to put mining over here either just yet. Maybe over here though. Once we build this out, we can actually put some over here. That might not be a bad idea. Just kind of right off of the highway there. I mean, this spot is really nice, but I really kind of like to save this for like a more populated downtown area if I can. I don't really want to develop an industry or area right here just yet. So let's just kind of keep expanding this out, and I want to work my way kind of over to this hill here and just get like the rest of these suburbs kind of done, and then maybe after that we can kind of call it a day. But let's just keep working a little bit, see what happens. All right, back again. Last time lapse. This is where I start to have these suburban roads kind of start to follow the contours of this hillside, and I'm not going to go too high up the hill. You know, I don't really think that would be very suitable for building. And, you know, I mean, we might do something later with some small, like really nice hillside homes. But for now, I think this is kind of a cool way to make a natural boundary to the city. You know, a lot of times people will build and build and build, and I'm guilty of it too, right? And, you know, the city never really has like an end. And in order to kind of help things be a little more realistic, and just, something that you'll see is all the cities kind of come to an end at some point, right? And since we can't really put any farms up on those hills, at least not right now, it'll help to put down, kind of have the roads just follow the land, and have some houses there that kind of back up to the hill and the forest, and that'll sort of serve as the end of this part of the city, so we can focus our building elsewhere. And here, just filling this out, I know it's kind of a just continuing the grid, but it does help a little bit, that we have these curvy roads up here on the hills now. We can kind of still cross those, but it's a little bit different, and lends itself to some different grid shapes. And I am a little bit I'm kind of bummed that they didn't include, as far as I could tell, they didn't include any kind of grid orientation feature like they added in Cities Skylines 1. I don't know why they didn't put it in Cities Skylines 2. And I know I've said that before, probably in a prior episode, but I just, yeah, I'm a little bit bummed that they didn't have that, because I feel like that would be really, really useful. There are sometimes I'll catch myself zoning, and then the zones like won't develop, and I realize that they're actually oriented to, the other road, like, and there's really no way to tell, sometimes the grids are so close together. So kind of bummed about that. But anyway, over here, getting some more medium density housing, that is. And actually go ahead and I think replace, we have a lot of low density over in this area, but I think I end up pretty soon replacing some of this low density with some higher density, some medium density apartments and stuff. And that's gonna help bring in some people as well, like I said earlier. But just figuring out, we got these parks. I love parks. I think they look fantastic, and it's always nice to put them down in some of these areas when you have these awkward spaces to fill, or if you want to, just kind of break up the grid a little bit and do something a little bit different. And to be honest, I don't really know why I put one here, even though like the cemetery is right there. I'm not quite sure why I did that. I think it was because the zoning orientation was to the other road, and I didn't want to mess with the way those houses look, but whatever. Anyway, this one is kind of threw this together. I'm not super happy about the way this looks right now, but we'll come back and detail this up. Maybe not in this episode, but probably in the next one. And yeah, I just, I kind of put this down as like a temporary thing, just to say, like, remind myself, hey, back to this area. It is going to be like a waterfront park. I didn't want to develop it, so I kind of left that there as a little bit of a placeholder. Here's what I was talking about earlier. Zoning some of these medium density buildings. As you can see, we have this new sustainability index, I guess, or layover or whatever, for low density. It says that those places weren't really too suitable for low density anymore. So I needed to jump in and make some high density, or not high density, medium density. Yeah, medium density zones over there. Kind of have a natural transition into a more dense city. And like I said, I didn't really expect that to be a denser part of the city, but I'm not complaining. And I think if we play our cards right, it might turn out pretty nice, and we can kind of have that as like a nice little waterfront, somewhat downtown-ish thing for this part of the city. And yeah, I won't complain. But yeah, just all this, I really want to keep this low density, just kind of filling out some of these zones, watching the city develop. It's popping up pretty quickly over here, so can't complain too much about that. And I thought about adding another school, but I was like, nah, we have this one. Why not, work on expanding this one? So that's what we're gonna do. We have these upgrades that we could put down. I think this is like this is a field house or like a preschool or something. I don't remember what, or a gym. I think maybe that is. I can't remember. But just adding that here, and then just expanding out some pathways. I think pathways, trees, super easy way to put some detail into these areas. And I do a couple things here that actually don't end up looking too great, and I might change them after looking at it now. I'm like, ugh. But like this one here, this corner, it's kind of weird, and I'm just like, why did I really even like try to do this? I don't know like what I'm doing here. But yeah, aside from this, pathways and trees are a great way to detail up some of these small areas. They really help make the area look like it's a little bit developed and a little bit nicely decorated, and kind of take up some space, because green space is still important to have in your cities. And just these pathways and trees still leave a lot of green space, and it's important to not develop all of your areas. I think it looks really realistic when you have these. Again, I've said this tons of times in this episode, but like just breaking up the grid and, you know, deliberately making some open areas, some destinations for people to go to. It really helps to make your city a little bit more lively rather than just, you know, house after house after house and then skyscraper after skyscraper after skyscraper. You know what I'm saying? So we're just about to wrap up the time lapse, but yeah, talk to you guys in a second for the final comments of the episode. All right. This is looking pretty good for now. I'm really happy with the progress that we made today. We got a lot of these suburbs built, put down this high school, improving our education, and we even have some medium density buildings popping up now, which is very, very exciting. This is an area that I didn't really expect to be medium density, but gotta say I'm kind of liking it. You know, right kind of by the coast, very, very populated, and I assume that we're going to turn this into some kind of nice, you know, probably like a trail or something. I don't really plan to develop this part of the coast, but yeah, I'm really liking this. And so I think in the next video, what we're gonna do is probably, I want to get this highway above the ground. I feel like a tunnel underneath here is pretty, that would have cost a lot of money, so I don't think I'm going to be keeping that. I think I'm going to have it come up and over here and connect with this highway over here. That will just look a little bit better, and then we can have some on-ramps, off-ramp stuff. Plus, that'll serve as kind of a nice divide between maybe some of the areas here and maybe a little bit, couple of more denser areas, you know, around here. So we'll make that happen probably in the next episode, along with expanding out some more of our industry, since that demand is always super high. But yeah, I'm happy with this. We have our population. Let's see, what are we up to now? All right, 2,600. Not bad. You know, we doubled our population this episode, so can't really complain. Again, I don't really want to put down this low rent housing yet, just because I don't know. I don't want to really deal with maybe some of the repercussions that come with that. But I feel like, you know, every city needs it, and I think I have some spots where I might put it down. Maybe kind of over here, closer to the industrial areas. You know, somewhere that we're not sacrificing high land value by deliberately putting low value housing. But either way, we'll see. Or we can put it, you know, maybe over here into some higher density areas. Doesn't really matter. We'll think about that next episode. But yeah, for now, hope you guys all have a great rest of your week. I've had a great time playing this game and building the city. It's been a lot of fun, and there's still some tips and tricks that I want to get to probably in the next episode too, with kind of making things look a little bit better. But right now, I've just kind of been focusing on building. So yeah, again, if you guys have any city name suggestions, please leave them down below in the comments. I would love to hear you guys' thoughts. But yeah, in the meantime, like I said, have a great week. I will see y'all in the next episode. Peace out.